he got a huge shot on his back this year. Don, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. But when you've won 8 of the last 10 ACC championships, you're going to start carrying that target. So, everybody's going to bring their A game when they play Clemson. When Clemson shows up, it doesn't matter. You're going to get their A game. So you got to take care of business. This is going to be a good football team though this year. Really good football team, offensively and defensively. Obviously, with Tom Allen coming in as a new defensive coordinator, it's going to be a lot of fun to see. All right, exactly what his touches are on the defense, but should be an absolute blast.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait.
I agree. Well, Don, I think this time next week we'll see you down in Charlotte. I know we don't see Towson.
I'll be there. I will see you on Tuesday.
I will see you Tuesday, Don.
We won't see down until Thursday when Bill Belichick and everybody else will roll in. So that's going to be a nightmare. So we're ready to go.
Yeah, so I want it's called
it's not a Chris, it's not a nightmare. That's the fun part of this job.
I know, but I think it's great. But we're going to get there early. We're going to get there early.
It's called I want a picture with you next Tuesday, Don, since you are.
We can do that. We'll absolutely do that.
These Smoky Mountains. I want a picture with someone who knows about my high schools. I had no idea you knew about.
I may have to wear my Hendersonville red tie for you, Adam. I may have to wear my Hendersonville High School red tie for you.
Hey, go for it. Go for it. I'll wear my Tuscola gear if you want me to on next Tuesday. I got a Tuscola shirt I could wear.
I love it.
All right, Don. We'll see you next week. But thanks for coming on tonight.
Sounds good, boys.
We'll see you soon.
Next Tuesday, Don.
All right. I'm sure we'll be talking a lot during the season, guys.
Yes,
we will.
All right. God bless you both, brothers. See you, man.
All right, see you.
All right.
I see it, Mike.
Bye-bye.
All right, that's Don
He
Munson.
knew about my high school, and I didn't think he knew about my high school and Coach Doug Brooks. And for you folks who don't know, Coach Doug Brooks was a legend at Tuscola High School, where I went to high school, class of 2000. So it's like, so to hear someone who knows about my high school is one of the coolest things.
Remember the kick last year? I have it. This is my video.
Oh yeah, go for it, Chris. Go, yeah. Let's go! I remember it's called. I was with Jenn Matthews. Since I didn't know where you were, it's called. I stood with her, to watch this. So
yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, dang.
Yeah. Speaking of, that was the loudest I ever heard on the field as a reporter. That thing was loud.
Yeah. I think my ears are still ringing from that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Speaking of next week, we'll be in Charlotte next week. Speaking of that, let's bring up my little thing. Next week we'll be in Charlotte. Little clip from years past of Adam and I talking to Coach Mike Norvell.
Oh yeah. Was that last?
I think it was like 2024 or 2023. I think 2024 was a bad year for him.
Yes, it was 2020. That was in 2023. I remember.
Yes, exactly. We're going to try to broadcast next Wednesday night at 5:00 from the hotel down there. We'll do a quick hour recap of what's going on day 2 there. Florida State's going to be there on Wednesday, so we'll see if Mike's wearing the same. He might be wearing the same, suit and tie there, Yeah. And then Thursday night we'll split our time between the ACC and the AAC because they're both in the same area.
There we are. So we can see our good friend and Coach Casey Keeler from Temple.
Yes, I talked to Richard Bird today, and he said as soon as they get the itinerary, he'll make it work. So
nice.
So we'll talk to Coach Casey Keeler, who is a good friend of mine of the show here since. Delaware. Yeah. Speaking of the days of Delaware, let's bring in. I think we got Jen on audio here because Jen is on her phone. So let me see if she can hear us. Jen, can you hear us?
I can. I'm trying to get my my video to record.
Fine.
I don't know why it's not.
Do you want me to put a picture of you like ESPN back in the old days, like the photograph?
I don't know what's going on. What in the
I don't know, Jen. So
I actually put on lipstick too.
Yeah, I know, and it's like so. So what's your take on how do you think ACC kickoff is going to go next week, especially having you got Bill Belichick, new head coach of North Carolina, Frank Reich is the new head coach of Stanford, Bill O'Brien is in his second year at Boston College, Mike Norvell, Dabo Sweeney. I think it's going to be quite interesting. Wouldn't you agree, Jen?
I do think it'll be very interesting. I'm not going to lie. My favorite guy from Boston College to interview got drafted this year, so he's not going to be there.
Oh.
And I'm also a little confused why we don't have. Wasn't the kicker from Clemson Jordan Love? No, not Jordan Love. Because it's new. He's new this year, but why isn't he back? Because he was like a freshman. Did he get in the transfer portal? The one who had the game-winning kickoff or field goal?
The guy from Clemson? I don't know. I don't know if he's brought in. Let me bring up my email here so I have it on the email.
Yeah, because I have it open and I'm looking and I just see Cade Klubnik, TJ Parker, defensive end, Antonio Williams, wide receiver, Peter Woods, defensive lineman.
Yeah.
No, he's not going to be there. And I'm surprised since he is from Charlotte. I thought he would be there. But
well, I think what is the coolest thing you guys are going to look forward to? I think I'm going to look forward to this gentleman coming on. This guy, we have a little clip here. Here's something real quick.
All right, here we go. First down. Hold on. Freddie, 4 seconds.
4 seconds. Hey, one play.
We'll put it on the 9. Good call, Bobby. You're getting those. You're getting a lot of those. Like, damn near every call you make's a good call.
Really?
I'm telling you.
Going to Roughing Academy soon.
Yeah. Team. Then we hit.
Opposite of rotation, yep.
Then we hit a
in cut,
and then we hit a
fade ball. 1-on-1.
That's how you move the ball down the field. You got to hit some of those plays. And look, there was still 30 seconds left on the clock.
Gotcha.
All right?
Yes, sir.
Nice job.
Yep.
Nice job. It's just a lot quieter over there on defense when we.
It's going to be great to hear that guy in person. I would love. I'm thinking about bringing a hoodie on Thursday and just wear a hoodie all around.
Gosh, do not do what every other person. Be unique, Chris. Be unique.
But we all know about the hoodie. Yeah.
I have a hoodie.
Okay?
I have a hoodie I can wear
that way. Okay.
Well,
and allow you to be, a certified bandwagon fan for the Heels.
well, Jen. Chris may not wear a hoodie.
Yeah, I have a Met hoodie. I have one in short sleeve.
Well, I have a hoodie. I have a hoodie I could wear, Jen.
Speaking of hoodies, let's bring in the mayor of Italy.
I think he's the mayor.
Why is my camera not set up?
I don't know, but it's like this guy makes me want Italian food after he went to Italy.
I know. Let's bring him in. Good old friend Dan DeTora. Dan, the mayor of Torre, Italy. How you doing, Mayor? How's everything?
Good, man. I'm doing very well. I miss my wonderful, wonderful town that is sharing my last name. I miss the beach. I miss the Italian food. I miss the mountains, but I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
so talk about that. You were over there real quick. You were over there when the Pope passed away. How cool was it? Because I saw from your Facebook all the cool events you were with your dad and all that stuff, and you went around the whole. Felt like you were there in Italy for like 3 months, but you're only there for 2 weeks. You know, it felt like it.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was a lot of fun. Dad and I got to go to Rome. We went to Naples, and we went to Tortora, Italy, which is in Calabria, which is ironic because it's where my mom's family's from, but it's my dad's last name. And then we went to Maddaloni, which is right outside of Naples, which is where my dad's family is from.
Okay.
And it was cool. Got to speak 4 different languages that day. I spoke English, Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese,
Nice.
and then got to climb a mountain. And that was probably one of the greatest moments of my life, to be honest.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
That
So,
was fun.
who are you gonna? What's your feeling like next week? You're staying in Charlotte because you have the ACC media day, and then on Thursday and Friday the AAC is right down the street from you. So you don't really have to travel this year. Last year you were going from Dallas to Charlotte, back to trying to get a rental car, trying to get this, trying to get
Yeah.
that.
They actually lost all my
So
they
now you
lost
don't
my
have to worry.
all my they not lost. Well, they misplaced my suitcase last year. So I had to spend almost $1,000 to redo my wardrobe, buy all my toiletries and all that fun stuff. So yeah, this year I want to thank the AAC for deciding to go to Charlotte for the first time ever. And so now instead of being a plane flight away, the ACC and the American will involve me leaving one building, one hotel for another hotel that's less than 10 minutes away. So it's wonderful.
You
I'm
mean
very
like 5 minutes away? I mean,
It's gonna be
right
cool.
around
And
where- I was
here's
like,
the question, Adam and Dan. Here's the question: on Thursday, are they going to hold Clemson and North Carolina to the end of the day? Because I know the AAC starts at 1:00, and we're going to go over there with you because we got a passport.
yes. Yeah.
So we want to go over there to see the other league, but I don't want to leave the ACC, hotel if Clemson and North Carolina decide to do the 3:30, 4:00, adventure.
Yeah, well, that Clemson is always the mic drop, so
Right.
they'll probably be last, I would imagine.
Right.
And Dabo will probably be last. So, yeah, and I did tell the ACC this. They, for some odd reason, for the last 3 years now, they have done the kickoff on my mother's birthday. So I am trying to get my mom to venture down to Charlotte for a couple days. But yeah, no, I think I know we don't have like the full timed schedule yet, but we do know what schools will be on what days, and the AAC obviously sent out some of their information as well. So no, I'm excited. I have 31 football teams in 4 days. So
Nice.
Game on. And I'll be down in Charlotte a week from today and getting set for all that is to come. But I'm very, very excited. I mean, the ACC kickoff was 2 days. Yes, last year it was 4. This year it is 3. And then the American is 2, but the American's typically a Monday, Tuesday. This year it's a Thursday, Friday. So they've kind of toyed with all different parts of the week, but Thursday, Friday this year. And I'm happy with what Tim Pernetti's got cooking. So I'm hopeful for that. And I know that Jim Phillips won't be asked about NIL or realignment or the transfer portal or any of that stuff.
I'm not going to. I mean, if someone else wants to, I mean,
no, they'll definitely talk to him about the house settlement and all that other stuff.
Yeah, it's like
and we have Jen Lewis, the voice of Jen Lewis, floating around here,
swirling around somewhere around, in this universe. Jen, are you there?
I'm here.
Hi, I'll say hi to Dan.
I did. I wasn't sure if I was still on because I didn't see anything anymore, and I'm like, weird. Sorry.
No, I was just going to ask that, Jen, because I saw you in the corner here. I'm like, let's make sure that we get Jen involved. So good to talk with you, Jen. I hope you're doing well.
I am. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. I miss Italy, but I am happy for Charlotte coming up. So
I can't wait till next Tuesday when we're all together having breakfast at the Hilton Charlotte Uptown in Charlotte. It'll be like a family reunion. You know what I mean?
And Dan, I don't know how you feel about pizza, but my husband and I were reintroduced to another pizza spot that is epically good. Like my husband hasn't liked pizza in forever.
Okay.
So it's like right down the street, walkable.
Okay. What is it?
It's called Gino D's.
Gino D's. Well, if it starts with Gino, then it's probably one of my card-carrying Italian brethren.
Yeah. His daughter Gina is who I met, and she, you can tell she's Italian. So yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. That's cool. All right.
But yes, I'm very excited about next week, and honestly, I think I'll have more fun watching everybody climb all over themselves to get to Bill Belichick. And
you mean like I will?
Wait a second. Are they going to climb all over themselves to get to Bill or to get to his girlfriend or his fiance?
I don't know.
That's a good question. If you're an actual sports fan, then you're going to be talking to Bill.
That's a good one.
I will. Yeah, I'm excited. This is very unique because I've had a lot of thoughts over the years on Bill Belichick, what he's done. Obviously, he's been an incredible coach. And the fact that, our paths are now crossing after I was there in 2018 when his Patriots beat my Jaguars with just a few minutes left to go to the Super Bowl back then. So this will be unique. It's going to be interesting. I never thought I'd see Bill in college, but I am excited for it very much so.
So is it inappropriate if I ask him how he felt when Steve Smith outed him during the 2004 Super Bowl about cheating?
I mean,
I'm just wondering, as a Panthers fan, I'm just wondering.
Well, I mean, they could say to him, now that you've been here, do you feel like this is a little deflating? Dan,
I knew I missed you for some reason.
I'm gonna want to say things, but I'm right in the front row, and he's gonna look at me eye to eye, and I'm gonna be.
It's called same thing. It's called Chris and I are gonna be in the front row, right, Chris?
Yeah, we're gonna be back where we are. We're gonna let Dan have the Bill look at him like this, going.
I'll let you guys stay in the large conference room, and I'll go ahead and be where I'm usually at. Okay.
Yes, Jen. Yes, Jen. I mean, it'll be like a family reunion. I mean, I want to know. I want to know what goals he had. I want to know what goals Bill Belichick has as a first-year head coach in college. I mean, it's like.
I'm sorry. Can I introduce you to the storied historian that is Bill Belichick? What do you think his goal is?
Well, well, it's like you look at his first game. It's in like on Labor Day night against TCU. I mean, it's like I want to know, how the transition has gone. In spring practice. Not being around. All those. Not being around young adults compared to what he had in Foxborough.
Right.
You know who else I'm excited to speak to, though?
Who?
Honestly, I'm excited to speak to Coach Fran Brown from Syracuse, because super good guy. When we talked to him last year, Adam, you were with me when I was talking to him, right?
Yes, I was.
Outside of media days.
Mm-hmm.
Super nice guy. And then I'm also really excited. I want to talk to Davo about coming on my show, to be honest with you. There's one coach I'm not excited to see because last year was the first year I made him smile, so I won't say who. You two know who it is. Dan will tell you offline if you want to know. But I mean, there's a couple other coaches that I'm excited to speak to, but I really liked Fran Brown's energy. And I'll say this: last year I was right when they asked, because Boston College kind of was the surprise team of the ACC last year.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were.
So I was right when they asked that question, and they were making fun of me on local Charlotte radio until they weren't.
Well, Jen, it's called,
well, they didn't know my name, but yes.
Jen, I mean, it's like, Syracuse has been in the headlines lately since they snagged one of their highest recruits in history.
Yeah.
Up there, I mean, it's like, what was it, Dan, a 4-star recruit, that signed with Syracuse?
It was, and to tell the Syracuse fans, there's 5 stars that you can get. We didn't know it went up to 5 until now, so it's actually 5 that you can get.
Okay.
And this is a 5-star basketball and football.
Yes.
Play. Yeah.
And it was like when I heard the news. I mean, the first person I thought was you, Dan, since you cover Syracuse, and it's like, this is a huge impact on head coach Fran Brown. I mean, and he could have a quarterback battle taking place because of, Stephen Jelly comes in,
Yep.
the transfer from Notre Dame, and we all know how he did against Penn State in the semifinal last year. And there is going to be a quarterback battle between him and Ricky Brown. Season opener is against Tennessee and Atlanta. We all know what happened with Tennessee in the offseason with Nico. So I think Syracuse is going to win that game because of everything that happened in the offseason with Tennessee, because I think Syracuse is going to be my surprise team this year after what happened last year. Folks, I think Syracuse is for real. Fran Brown is legit. Dan can tell you after being around him. So I think Syracuse, is going to go to a bowl game this year. And I think it should be interesting to see who wins the quarterback battle going into week 1 versus Tennessee and Atlanta.
Yeah. Hey, Dan, I got to say, I got to do my impersonation of Jimbo. I loved your impersonation last week when I was driving up to Pennsylvania. I was listening to it on the video, on the audio, on the phone thing, on the when I was driving my paint van, and I'm like, oh, I got to do it better. Jimbo.
All right.
All right. Here's my impersonation of Jimbo. Yeah, I know. We went down to this field there. We have to drive the ball down there. I don't understand why we couldn't get the touchdown there and go in there and go in there. And he kept using the hand, Stan. Do you see that? It was like the hand thing going every time we talked to him, right?
Yeah, he's the only person. And listen, I'm a big fan of Jimbo Fisher, and love talking to him on and off the air. I will say that he is the only person I've ever met that can interrupt himself.
Yeah.
So,
I believe it. I believe
Let me introduce you to me, Dan.
what did you say?
Let me introduce you to me.
Yeah. But you did talk about Fran Brown in this place called Syracuse. So I do want to weigh in on my hometown.
Yes, I did.
So Fran and I have gotten to spend some time together. We've gotten to talk about a lot of things. I do appreciate more than anything that he is a person of God, as I am too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've had that conversation. We got to do an interview in his office last year, just him and I, and kind of break down a lot of different things and what he thinks of Syracuse and what the block S means to him and all that. So that was a lot of fun. And, just to get to be around him, be around the staff, I do want to thank him because he did take time out of a press conference last year to congratulate me on 21 years in broadcasting. I did not know he was going to do that. That was live. So I will say that I have really appreciated talking with Fran. He is recruiting locally. He's got a bunch of guys from my alma mater, Christian Brothers Academy, that just won another state title. Oh, and by the way, so they won a state title. And thanks to the fact that the staff has treated me so well, I got a ring this year.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Go, Dan.
Hell yeah. So
Go, Dan.
I got my first championship ring. And
Nice.
So I do want to give a shout out to the guys, Dante Baccier, who's a wide receiver. You'll also see Darian Williams, who's wide receiver, could play corner, but a wide receiver. And one of the guys, big guys on the offensive line, Matt Hahn. And then another guy, Cardi Shepard, who is from CNS, which is also here in Central New York. He is heading off to Syracuse and is already out there. So what I will say about the Orange is I'm excited about the fact that they'll be a part of the Aflac kickoff game. It's with the same team of Peach Bowl Inc. that runs the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Mm-hmm. So this will be awesome. I got to end last year at the national championship in Atlanta. I get to start this year in the same stadium in Atlanta, God willing, here with Syracuse, Tennessee. So Fran has done an incredible job in recruiting. The staff has been awesome. There's a lot of good things to come. And people have asked, what does it mean that Steve Angeli came into Syracuse with Ricky Collins Jr. also coming in? My words back to them was, it means we're going to have an exciting fall. So I'm very much looking forward to this. And the funniest thing about it is I said right before they brought in Angeli they're like, so what do you think? I said, I think Fran's getting another quarterback. I said, I don't think he's done yet. I said, if he can get another one, he's going to bring another one in. And he brought in Angeli, and Angeli did a good job. For those of you that watched the college football playoff, Notre Dame helped them when Riley came out, helped to make sure that they moved forward over Penn State. So Notre Dame definitely did a great job last year. Steve Angeli did a nice job when he came in. Ricky Collins, big question mark, didn't really play that much at LSU, but there's some young guys behind those two guys as well. So I will say that watching the quarterbacks throw that ball in the spring was fun, and I can't wait to get back to the Ensley Center and as well as outdoors and get to see what the guys have to offer. But hey, listen, it's a quarterback battle. I like it. I'm excited. And if people were wondering, like, is it just Angeli's job? Well, Fran's having Ricky Collins come to media day. So that's interesting.
It is. Yeah. And that was the last one it changed that happened today.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Dan, I got to say, the people I'm going to look forward to besides Bill Belichick is Frank Wright, because he's down here in Maryland. I'm in Maryland, and he was a Maryland quarterback, and he went into the Orange Bowl and took out and came back and beat the Miami Hurricanes. And my brother does not even talk about that game down here at all.
I remember that game.
Yeah. Will does not even talk about it. I was like, what about that Frank Wright game, Will? He goes, don't even bring that up. I'm like, okay, buddy. Yeah, I'm all right. And then he did it again against the Oilers. You know, it's like, how did you do college version and then you do the pro version? And then he was the Super Bowl with the Eagles, and then he goes to Indianapolis and he goes to Carolina. And I know Carolina, he had an issue in Carolina, but I just wanted to talk about his glory days with Maryland, because I think he was back up with Boomer Esiason, right?
True.
Yeah.
Well, and what's interesting is I think his daughter is still on the social media team for Carolina Panthers right now.
Okay.
But she got the job before he was hired.
Okay.
And he was screwed.
Yeah, but I think that'll be cool to talk to on next week. And then, Dan, there's a guy that you need to put on your show. There's a lacrosse guy who used to be the head coach at Johns Hopkins, Dave Petramala, who is friends with Bill Belichick. So he knows Bill as Bill off the mic Bill, the one who's out of the office Bill, the one that he's you can hang out with. And I'm going to ask Bill that question. What's it like hanging out with your friend Dave Petramala? And hopefully he'll enjoy talking about him. Because Dave has good things about him all the time we talk to him.
Yeah. I will definitely say, looking at the Syracuse, so Ricky Collins was the only guy that was kept on there on the updated attendee sheet. He was going originally, but they added Dan Villari, who's a good friend of mine. They brought in Jack Stonehouse, who's our punter, and Barry Buxton the third. So that's one thing I kind of want to talk to Fran about, is he kept Ricky, but he changed everybody else that was coming.
That's crazy. And they could do it a week before.
Oh, is that what the change was?
Yeah, Ricky stayed the same, but everybody else changed. Villari, I don't think Villari was coming. Stonehouse wasn't coming. And Barry Buxton. So he definitely made some changes, and now it's provoking me to want to go back and look at who the guys were originally here. But yeah, Ricky was always going, and then I'll tell you right now. So this is what they had.
I apologize for misspeaking, because I thought Ricky was the change.
So okay, so Deion Wilson Jr. was coming, Deuce Chestnut, and Derek McDonald. So he changed. So Deion has been with the team for a while. Deuce came back last year. Derek McDonald's been a leader, stepping up this year, especially with Marlo Wax Jr. not being here anymore, and Justin Barron, because they're both in the NFL. So Ricky's the only guy that he kept. And I was looking at that sheet going, he changed out 75% of those guys. So
I wanted to talk to Deuce.
Wonder what happened.
I don't know. That is an interesting thing to make such a change at this time. So we shall see. But I will say, Dan Villari, the fact that my Swiss Army knife gets to go, my tight end, quarterback, running back, I'm very happy. He came in, he was in Michigan as a quarterback, then came over to Syracuse as a quarterback, was asked to shift to tight end. And then when our quarterback got injured, he was asked to shift back to quarterback, and now he's gone to tight end. And so I'm happy that he has some more time back here on the team, because he told me last year, he's like, I got one more year. And I was like, what are you doing? He's like, I think I'm coming back. And so I'm very happy that he's found his way back. That guy has had an incredible journey with God. huge man of faith, worked his tail off, and he has an awesome family, a ton of support. And I really hope that they use him for all of the elements that he can bring to this offense, especially with having a new quarterback either way.
Yeah.
Now, someone I'm looking forward to seeing is Tommy Castellanos, who's a new quarterback at Florida State. We all know he's in his mouth. Again,
he's getting too much
about Alabama. So it's like,
cut it out.
When I saw that, I was like, you're coming to Charlotte, knowing that maybe some of the media is going to ask about those comments you said about playing Alabama. I mean, it's like, that should be quite interesting. And also Carson Beck from now with Miami is there. That should be an interesting ACC kickoff, seeing those two. And also Miller Moss, who transferred into Louisville from Southern Cal last year or this year.
Yeah. Well, and again with Tommy Castellanos, remember he was Boston College last year.
He was.
You know, this is continuing the trend from last year where we see somebody at ACC kickoff with a different team and a different color.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it would be cool. And I think it's also be neat to see all the guys from the ACC network, you know, Aaron McLean and hopefully Mark Rick will be there. I know his dad passed away, and, you know, our condolences to Mark Rick and his family, because Mark is such a nice guy. He likes talking to me, and I still remember the time, Dan, were you there when he was talking about how you put the hamburger, the hot dog in the piece of bread? You know, my dad does that. You know, like if you don't have a hot dog roll, you just put the hot dog in a piece of bread and just pull it up and go, here you go. There you go. You know, I'm like,
my mom would say it's the same. It's not the same, but she would say it was the same, but it's not the same. By the way, do you know where Tommy Castellanos started his career? Because this is his third team. It's in a place where
SMU.
No, it's in a place where a lot of guys are good, don't get any respect, and then go somewhere and people go, oh,
Miami.
No.
Sorry.
No.
What?
No, people get respect at Notre Dame.
No, this is literally a place where two quarterbacks have gone recently, one of them coming to ACC kickoff, that got totally disrespected and underrepresented where they were. And then everybody was like, oh, this guy. One of the guys just got drafted.
Oh, Cam Ward.
Florida State.
So Mackenzie Milton went to Florida State after he was at UCF. Yes. So Dylan Gabriel was at UCF after Mackenzie Milton went down, and then he went on to Oklahoma and then went on to Oregon, who was the only undefeated team going into the college football playoff. Yes. So yes, Tommy Castellanos is a UCF player originally.
And the reason why he's at Florida
State, that's why
he's no coach.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. It's because he gets to hook up with Gus Malzahn, because I think that's the reason he wanted to go to Florida State, because he wanted to reunite with Coach Gus Malzahn, who's now the OC at,
I agree.
At FSU.
Well, by the way, Mike Norvell, I know I've done it before, but I have to do it again. I mean, the guy deserves a lot of credit. He sent a bunch of guys to the NFL from Memphis. I covered him for 4 years there. The whole time he's been at Florida State, he has not gotten an ego. He's been very kind. He's always made himself available. He works his tail off. He recruits his butt off. He tries to do things in the right way. So I just want the Florida State fans to know, because I know y'all get upset. You want to win all the time, and I get that, and I feel that, but I'm just saying, Mike Norvell is the best thing you had in a very long time, so don't be trying to run my guy out of Tallahassee. That's all.
Dan, I have a lot of respect for Mike Grinnell, because after the Florida game, he went on and goes, I'm sorry for what I did. I apologize for the season. It will never happen again.
Nope.
And you saw what he did. He said right after that, he recruited people from Nebraska, cleaned house, got everything all nice and neat. And I feel like we're going to see a different Mike, who might be like happy-go-lucky Mike, not the one like, I want to get that.
Last year when he wanted to go, like, it's like he didn't want to be in Charlotte. He just wanted to go straight back to Tallahassee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I will say that, I mean, hopefully people will not talk. I mean, they will, but realignment and Clemson and Florida State and Miami, I mean, I can imagine the commissioner is going to get it. Mike might still get some of it. Dabo may or may not, but I mean, this is a conference that is working very diligently to keep the family together. So I just, I would like to, and listen, you got a better path being in the ACC, going to the college football playoff and being a Clemson or a Florida State or Miami than you do to going into the SEC and hoping to God that you're like the 5th team to come out of there. So,
Sure. I'll agree with that.
Exactly. Well, guys, it's going to be great to see you all next week. I hope you guys have a safe trip. Jen, we'll see you on Monday, hopefully. Dan, safe flight down there. I'm going to fly down in the morning, so I'll be there by 10 o'clock in the morning, so I'll be ready to go by 2. We're going to stop by your good place, Brooklyn Pickle, because we want to do something exciting for you.
Yes, we do.
Oh, very good. Do. Well, in the famous words of Bill Belichick, but changed a little bit, we're off to Charlotte.
Yes, we're off to Charlotte.
I can't wait. I can't wait, guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. All right, Dan?
We'll see you next week, guys.
Nice to see you, Dan.
See you, Jen.
Good to see you, too.
You, Dan.
Be safe. All right, Dan. All right, Jen. See you. Bye. All right, guys. That's Jen Lewis and Dan Vittori. We'll see you all next week down in Charlotte. We'll switch the page here. It is All-Star Week, and this guy was he was a 2 sports star up in Pennsylvania. I was just up there today dropping off paint. So basically, it was great to go to that beautiful state of the Commonwealth. But this guy is doing really well on the PBA Tour, on the Senior 60s Tour. Just won the Roth Championship, and he's going to join us right now. John Burkett will be joining us right now. So, John, hello. Welcome back to the program, sir.
Thanks for having me. How you guys doing?
You're welcome.
Doing great. I was looking at this week is All-Star Week, and I want to talk about your last career you had before you became a bowler. Because I know I was reading your bio. You wanted to be a bowler when you were, my age, because bowling was your sport in the wintertime, just like I used to do. I bowled in the winter and played baseball in the spring, So just talk about your big win last week. You're on the winning the Roth Championship. You took on some guy that we know, Parker Bone III. So how difficult was it to bowl against a guy like that?
Well, I mean, first of all, I've been bowling my entire life. I grew up bowling junior leagues and everything. So, like you said, it's been a dream of mine from back then. I watched all these guys bowl on TV on ABC Sports for years, and I always wondered if I could compete with them. And now I'm getting the chance to do that. So, it's been a great experience. And I won my second title, like you said. The first one was they're all PBA 50 tour actually, but they have a couple designated events for only 60 and above. And so that was a 60 plus Mark Roth Championship, who's also a New Yorker. It was a guy that was my favorite bowler growing up. So it was kind of cool to win his named pattern championship. But bowling against Parker, he's one of my favorites out there. If you know Parker, he's a great guy. I mean, ultimate professional out there on that tour. And I have a lot of respect for him. So to be able to beat him for a title is definitely a really, really great accomplishment, a cool thing, in my mind, to be able to beat somebody, bowl well enough to beat him in a title match.
Yeah, we got the clip of you winning last week. I found it online. I love your bowling jersey. You got the San Francisco Giants going on there, big guy. So that's good. And your old number 33. I didn't realize that was your number when I was watching I was looking at the All-Star games. I'm like, wait a minute, he's 33. I'm like, okay, I got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, I was 19 with the Braves, and I was 19 with the Red Sox, and so I have all my jerseys. So guys get a kick out of that I switch them up every time. And,
right.
But my Giants jersey, I seem to really bowl well in it for some reason, and so I had that one for the stepladder.
Yeah. Well, talk about the lanes there. How difficult was it and how was it cool to bowl on TV? Because I think Monticelli had a perfect game, right?
He might have had a perfect game during qualifying, but I bowled him the first match on the stepladder here.
Okay.
This is the title match, so
right.
I won 3 matches before getting to this one. I was the 5th seed, so I had to win.
Oh wow!
I had to win 4 matches in a row to win the title.
Jeez.
But I actually the lanes were very difficult during the week, but I had a really good. Sometimes you just match up really well, your ball roll and the lane surface, and you just see the pattern really, really well. And this was a week for me where I had a little different look than most guys. And that's when you got to take advantage and take down the tournament. And I'm glad I was able to do it.
That's cool. That's awesome. Congratulations on your winning. Yeah.
Oh,
nice. There it is.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
That's cool. That's beautiful.
Very nice job. Nice.
Awesome. I got to talk about your other career. I was looking at your baseball career, and yeah, in 1993, you actually were in Baltimore at this time during the All-Star Week, with the Giants, and I know you had a bad inning. I'm sorry. I'm not bringing up that bad inning for you because I feel like you might get angry, but how difficult was that inning?
Bad innings. I had the bad ones and play.
I was looking at that. I do have an easy clip for you, a better clip for that inning. Okay, here you.
Rodriguez.
Okay, I found this better than the whole inning. I was watching it last night, trying to find the best one for you. Here's Joe Carter.
Joe Carter,
yeah. Sit down, big guy.
That's a good. Hands. Today they would say it was 101 miles an hour, but
sit down, big guy.
Back then, they didn't have the juice guns back then.
Yeah. So how cool is it to be playing in the All-Star game? Because people don't realize, this time of year, Major League Baseball has the All-Star game, and you were selected with the Giants and with the Atlanta Braves, and you're both in the National League. 1 year you didn't play because it was in Seattle, and this year in '93 they brought you in because you were doing really well. What was your nerves like coming into an All-Star game, knowing that you have to face Joe Carter, Cecil Fielder? I think Cal was like they took you out before Cal Ripken came up, but it's like that lineup. You had to pitch against Ken Griffey and all those people. You must have been like sitting there going, I don't want to screw up on CBS here.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I grew up in a small town, Beaver, Pennsylvania. I was the first person ever drafted out of my high school, so I always felt like the underdog. I never really thought I would be in. I mean, I've had dreams of being in the big leagues, but when it happens, it's just an amazing feeling. And then to make an All-Star game, and then not only one but two. I think 9 years later, I made Seattle, but I did pitch in Seattle also.
Oh, you did? I didn't see it on the stat sheet. They didn't put
pitched in the middle of the game somewhere. I pitched an inning.
I guess there's people who put the stats together need to pay attention then.
Well, in Baltimore, I got the loss, so that might have been. You might have saw a version of the box score or something.
Yeah, I didn't want to bring that up.
But in that game, a couple interesting tidbits about the All-Star game, being at the All-Star game. One of them was Pudge Rodriguez, who I played with later on, hit a line drive in Baltimore and it stuck in the fence. He hit it so hard.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you went back, that's what I thought you were going to show. I thought you had a clip of Pudge hit the bullet. It's like a line drive bullet, and the padding in the outfield. It was like a new fence because Baltimore was pretty. I think the year before it was brand new. Might have been that year. Was it '93 that Camden Yards?
Yeah, it was Camden 3. Yeah, '93 was in Camden Yards. Yeah,
I'm saying was that the first year of the stadium? Is what I'm thinking. I don't know if it was '93 when it was built or '92 or something.
It was '92, and then following year was '93. And I remember that All-Star game because around here in Baltimore, Mike Messina got up in the bullpen, and Cito Gaston had a huge hissy fit. People in Baltimore were like, "Oh, bring Moose in, let him pitch the ninth." And Cito Gaston was like, "Nope, not doing it." And everybody was all angry. And here in Baltimore, like they wanted to put him on effigy, and Cito Gaston. He was just trying to win a game.
Yeah, he must have started. Moose must have started the day before the All-Star break or something like that. Right. So that's what actually happened to me too. I was 12-2 that year. I felt like I deserved to start the game, but I pitched 2 days before the game. I pitched Saturday. I think I pitched Saturday in Philadelphia.
Okay.
Maybe Sunday, but I think it was Saturday, and then the All-Star game was Tuesday. So. They didn't want me to pitch 2 or 3 innings. I've just coming off like 2 days off. So I pitched 1 inning, or not even an inning. I think I got knocked out in 2/3 of an inning or something. But that was probably a little much for me anyway at the time. I was still recuperating from the start a couple of days earlier. But yeah, anytime you get a chance to pitch in that game, you want to get that opportunity.
Right, exactly. Adam, you have a question for John?
Yeah, so John, obviously, right now you're bowling against Parker Bowen III, Pete Weber, Walter Ray Jr., Malone Monticelli, etc. Did you ever think, growing up as a kid, watching the PBA Tour on ABC Sports, you would be bowling against the greatest of all time on the PBA 50 Tour?
I tell those guys that all the time.
No, okay. Yeah.
When I bowl against him or I bowl against Parker, I do it to Parker all the time. Like, I don't even know if I belong here. He's like, oh yeah, you belong here.
Yeah.
Parker's really cool. So
Yeah, I mean,
it does hit me a lot, when I'm out there that sometimes I just can't believe how lucky I am to be able to play two sports and one of them that I can play at an older age.
Right.
If I'd have done it the other way around, I don't think I'd be on a baseball field at 60 years old. Competing.
No. I mean,
yeah, it's a great feeling and a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it's like, now, have you had a chance yet to bowl with the PBA 50 Tour at Riviera Lanes in Fairlawn, Ohio?
I've not. We were there. I guess was it last year, or the year before?
It was last year. It was
right.
last year.
I didn't go. Something came up, and I didn't.
So if you could bowl at Riviera Lanes, where the Tournament of Champions is held every year, what would be your initial reaction seeing, bowling on that legendary pair we all know and love now, right. And then
that'd be great. And I was disappointed last year that I wasn't able to do it. I've had wrist issues the last couple of years. I think my wrist was acting up at the time, and I thought I wasn't going to have a really good chance to win. And I've told myself, if I don't feel like I can win, I'm not going to bowl out there. My wife has been great about it. She chased me around baseball fields for a lot of years, and now I'm out there quite a bit. So I try to keep it under wraps a little bit and not do too much. And especially if I'm not feeling good, I don't need to be out there. But yeah, the Riviera Lanes, I hope they go back this year. It's in Morgantown. They changed it to TOC to Morgantown. So,
West Virginia. Yeah. It's you need John Denver saying. You need John Denver, have singing Country Roads, and it is the home of West Virginia University.
Yeah, exactly. That's a beautiful area. We bowled there the last couple of years too, but we never had the TFC there. So this year they're having the TOC there. Hopefully someday they'll put it back at Riviera Lanes, and I'll get a chance to bowl at the legendary. It's like the Yankee Stadium of bowling.
Oh yeah, I've gone the last 2 years, and I'll probably go back next year for the TOC. And it's like when I first went there, John, I was like, "This is like Yankee Stadium." I remember this place from ABC Sports back in the day, and you see that legendary banner hanging. I mean, it's like, I got my picture took with it. I mean, it's like. Is this a dream?
Yeah.
I mean, so I had to think to myself, like, no, it's not a dream. You're here at Riviera Lanes, the Tournament of Champions, what we knew as the Firestone. It's like,
it's a great place. Hopefully I can get a chance to go bowl there sometime.
Yeah, it's because you need to.
John, I have a story to tell you. I went out there one time, and it was one of those days it's supposed to snow. So I'm like, my buddy and I went out there. I'm like, we'll be fine. We'll get home before the snow. And we're finished in the TV show and, all that stuff. And he looks at me and goes, "It's snowing outside." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, it's not." And he goes, "Yeah, it is." So we're driving through Ohio. I have a problem with Ohio plow people. Can you please plow your highways? Because I was like, because him and I were like on the death grip. He was driving like 15, 20-minute miles underneath the speed limit. And we got to Pittsburgh, the Pennsylvania Turnpike. I want to pull over and give the guy who plowed it, a big hug because, Pennsylvania was like clear sailing, right after the Ohio border. But I was like, I didn't get home until like 2, 3 in the morning because you're
going so slow in Ohio.
Yeah. We thought we were gonna die. It's like, geez.
I got a place where I ski in Park City, Utah, and we were driving there one year, and a big storm hit. We were in the mountains, and it was like 6 hours of driving like this. I mean, it's
my gosh, John. Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Well, John, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I was looking through my emails. I'm like, I think I have his email. I'd love to get him on again. And I appreciate you.
Man. I don't mind doing it at all. So, I can get the word out about bowling. I love the sport, and so anybody that wants to give it attention, I appreciate it. So,
So where are you guys off to?
That helps my ego too. You know what I mean? I like talking to people and
you're all good.
Talking about it, right? Yeah.
You're all good.
Yeah.
Exactly. But John, where are you guys next on the tour? I know you just got done doing that whole World Series of bowling thing. So where are you going next?
Well, the 50 guys are out there. They're actually bowling another World Series. It was back to back.
Okay.
But my baseball agent that I had for years, he's getting married on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
His second marriage. So 71 years old, he's getting married again. What the heck's wrong with you, man? But he's in love, and she's a really nice lady, and so they're getting married, and so my wife and I are going to the wedding.
That's cool. Well, congratulations to your friend, and congratulations on your big win, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
All right, you guys. See you, Adam.
All right, man. See you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. Bye.
Yep.
All right, that's John Burkett. Yeah,
John Burkett knows my name.
We had to bring him on because of the All-Star game.
I know, and it's called He Knows My Name.
Hey, that's pretty cool. And dude, it's funny. I had his email because I typed it in the other day and going, I'm trying to figure out who played in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
I'm going through all the people in my head. I'm like, let's see if I could get, I know, I don't think Wally Backman played in it, but I was like, let me try to get somebody like, somebody who played it. And I'm like, wait a minute, John
Burkett.
Yeah. And I emailed him, and I'm thinking like, he gave me his email years ago. I'm thinking like, it's not going to work. I'm like, get this garbage.
And it's like,
he sent me an email yesterday morning going, yeah, I can do it. I'm just sitting home chilling. I'm like,
he loves us, Chris. I mean, it's like we have connections with these people, and it's like, cool.
Well, we're trying to get the Bowie State bowling coach on, Coach Thompson, but looks like his device is not working.
Well, let's go see if he has audio.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll bring in, let's change gears. If he could fix it, we'll put him on at the end before we go. If not, we'll get him on another time. We'll fix it with him. Yeah, let's bring in our, I know you're a big Red Sox fan there, Adam.
Chris, it's how we Red Sox fans are like living right now because we got a 10-game winning streak, going on out there. And, being a Red Sox fan like I am, when I heard about this gentleman coming on, because if you don't know about the station up there in Boston, WEEI, it's a legendary Red Sox station for so many years. And this guy does the pregame show and the postgame show on WEEI up there in Boston. And I think they're still cheering. So let's bring in Joe Wheel, who does the pregame and postgame for WEEI up there in Boston. So, Joe, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Of course.
As a Red Sox fan growing up there in New England for so many years, living in New Hampshire and now North Carolina, it's nice to see the Red Sox have a 10-game winning streak going into this All-Star break after what happened with Alex Bregman deal, about Alonso getting traded to the San Francisco Giants. I mean, things must be pretty good up there in Fenway Park this time of the year, right, Joe?
Yeah, they definitely are. It's been a fun ride here to close out the first half. I feel like we've lived like 5 different movies, honestly, through the first half of this season. First half, obviously, being pre-All-Star break. But, yeah, they trade Rafael Devers, and, now they've kind of found themselves. I mean, they're playing great baseball. They're doing it in so many different ways, too, guys. They're pitching so well. You have guys like Crochet who have been great all season long, like along with a guy like Aroldis Chapman, but they've gotten some great pitching performances from Lucas Giolito. Brian Bayo is finally turning into the guy I think we all hoped he'd be too. So the staff has looked awesome. The bats have been alive. Roman Anthony is the real deal. And now you have Alex Bregman back. So this team's clicking at the right time and looking like the team, Adam, I felt like they would be, at the beginning of the season. And I won't lie and say that I had never lost faith. I there were times throughout this first half where I thought, okay, maybe the season just isn't going to turn out the way we had hoped. But no, they found their footing and they couldn't have closed out this pre-All-Star break stretch any better.
Sweeping the Rays at home.
Yeah.
I mean, you look how good. I mean, Tampa has been really good. I mean, and sweeping now, go here to the All-Star break. You talk about Roman Anthony. You talk about their other prospect who they brought up from AAA Worcester. And they have, succeeded way beyond measure. And you look at Garrett Crochet, what he's done. I mean, maybe the Red Sox, can keep that momentum going in the second half and perhaps make the playoffs and a Red Sox nation be happy this year after what we've seen the last few years.
I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so. And I've once again bought myself back into this team because I think that they've kind of figured it out on offense. The strikeouts have come down. That was a huge problem for this team for a significant part before the All-Star break. But they've kind of figured it out now. I think from that perspective, and they're winning close games too, Adam. That's a key thing because they were losing so many one-run games before this kind of recent 10-game winning streak, and they had been blowing out. I should correct that a little bit because they were blowing out the Nationals, they were blowing out the Rockies. This Rays series to me said a lot where they could win all these close games. They got some big swings. Obviously, Cedar Rafaela with the big walk-off home run. We see him on our screen right there. I mean, he has been awesome, and what he's done for the lineup has, in my mind, sort of changed what I think the ceiling of this team could be. Because for the first couple months, I think a lot of us were saying, okay, this guy's probably going to be a utility guy. That's probably the best way to kind of have him on this roster. They've already signed him to this long-term deal. And granted, it wasn't for a ton of money, but they'd locked him up, for 8 years. Now it's a completely different feel. This guy has been one of the best players in baseball over the last couple weeks, maybe even last month, if you want to extend it out even further, because you couple with what he does defensively with what he does on offense. And again, it's just now one part of this whole machine of guys that I think really enjoy playing with one another. And I'm not saying Rafael Devers was a bad guy. I think that both sides would say that, with some more hindsight, okay, they would have done things a little bit differently. But they've kind of clearly figured out who they are. Alex Bregman's a huge part of that. The leadership element there has been huge. And I just think this team has sort of figured it out now. And now the question is, how do they add? Because I think from what we've seen, even though they're going to have a lot of good teams coming up, I think they should be a buyer at the trade deadline. I think, okay, you obviously you're young players, but you have some veterans too. You have a top flight ace. The rest of your staff is starting to kind of come together. So to me, they represent a buyer in a division that seems wide open. And even though the Tigers are a very good team and they deserve a lot of credit, I still think an American League that's pretty wide open too.
Yeah, I was looking at the Red Sox schedule. They opened Friday in Chicago against the Cubs, and the Cubs just took 2 out of 3 from the Bronx Bombers. So that's going to be a really tough series. And it's also all day games out there in Chicago because Wrigley Field occasionally does a night game here and there, but it's all day games. But with this winning 10 straight games, and then you have this 4 or 5 days break off, it's like, you don't want it to break right now. You want to keep going, keep this thing going. And a lot of people, when you see teams when they win 10 in a row and they get to the All-Star break, and then afterwards they go, "Oh God, I lost 5 in a row." Like what the heck's going on here? But just talk about that Cubs series coming up on Friday out there in Chicago. It is a big series, and I think one of the games will probably be on. I think one of them is on Fox.
Yeah, it might be the Saturday game. I think they have. If I have correct, I'm going to double check it right now while we're together. I believe that game is a night game.
Okay.
And then the other ones are they're playing at 7:15. That's a Fox game. So they have a day game on Friday, day game on Sunday. So here's my take on it. If they do stumble out of the stretch here, in the second half, I don't think it's because the All-Star break came at a bad time. I think it would more so have to do with they're playing some really good teams, and you could, I think make the argument that it's a little bit of a tough draw for the Sox coming out of the All-Star break, that they have to face the 3 teams in the National League that are leading their respective divisions, because you go from the Cubs and then you go to the Phillies and then the Dodgers. So those are 3 very good teams that we all, I think, now expect to see in October. Yeah. So I think the rest is coming. I still think it's coming at a decent time. You think of guys like Carlos Narvaez, who have been awesome this year, but he's playing so many games. You look at like his minor league track record, and what he's now projected to play this year, he's going to completely exceed what he did in the minors. And guys like Crochet, even though he's in the All-Star game, he's going to not pitch in that one too. Bregman's also going to rest, and he's still, I think, defensively and maybe running the bases too, like not fully back looking like the guy we saw prior to the quad injury. So I think if they stumble a bit, it's just because of the good competition that they have coming up. Not to say I don't believe in momentum at all. I'm not throwing that out completely, but I do think in this context, the break is coming. And they just unfortunately have this good slew of teams. Now, here's the caveat to that. If they can finish out that stretch with a winning record, or at least keep their head above water, right? Even though the rest of their second half schedule is pretty tough. I think it's the third hardest schedule in all of Major League Baseball. You're still looking like a buyer to me, again, because of the context of everything we were saying before, the division, right, also the American League too. And I think actually just baseball in general, I think it's not like any one team feels like the dominant team, not even the Dodgers, because of all the injuries that they've sustained, on their pitching side too. So I think they look like a legit team, and I'm just glad it's finally come, after kind of waiting it out for a significant portion before we've hit the All-Star break.
Yeah, and then like the next weekend, you got the Dodgers coming to town, so that's going to be a very big series. And the way the Dodgers are playing, they finally got the win, on Sunday after losing 7 in a row or 8 in a row, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, what's going on with LA?" Well, they had like an 8-game lead on the Padres, and only lost 3 games in that whole span, so they're still good. Yeah,
and Chris, not to cut you off, but it's like I think what this is kind of given me more perspective on, and not to say I didn't know this, but I think when you're in the trenches of some things day to day, you kind of forget that we're playing 162 games, right? And so like as bad as, or maybe not bad so word, but sort of as mediocre as things have kind of been for the Sox for a pretty significant portion here, right? They've won 10 straight, and I think you could, I think would be fair to say, Adam, I'm curious what you think, but like I feel like you give this team a B, grade for the first half.
I'll agree.
But think about where we were before the winning streak. I think people probably would have said C minus, or maybe if you want to be even more critical, like a D. But it just again gives more context to like, again, it's 162. It's a long season, and you have to ride the waves when you're a fan of this sport.
Yeah, and it's like Joe. I mean, when they brought up Roman Anthony, Mayor from AAA Worcester, that helped them.
Yeah,
and you look how good they've done. Since being called up from Worcester, they have been sensational, and I think it's what the Red Sox needed. And now it's like if you can keep them healthy, I see good things happening with Mayor and Anthony down the line. I mean, I think they're going to be, they may be stars right now, but I think down the line, if they stay with the Red Sox, I think they can be superstars, and those two will be names that Red Sox fans like myself will remember for a long time to come. I mean, I can remember, I've seen highlights when Anthony hit some outstanding homers when he was at AAA Worcester, and it's like he brought that power with him to Boston, and he's been exceptional, amazing. And it's like, it's been fun to, it's been so much fun seeing the Red Sox do this good after what happened with Rafael Devers getting traded to the Giants. And it's like, I thought that would bite him in the behind. Well, hasn't really happened. I mean, 10-game winning streak, that's like the best of the best right now.
Yeah, and you wonder now how they invest in the team now that they've kind of cleared his contract off the books too, right? And with him not deciding he wanted to play first base when there was a need, or even possibly go back to third, now it's kind of freed up that spot. You have Yoshida now on the roster, and you do have some roster flexibility now. And Anthony, I was just making sure I had it right. They're 21-10 since they called him up. So Yeah, so I mean they've been kind of rolling right now, really since he's made his debut. So he's a game changer, and he's found himself. I mean, not found himself. I think if you looked at some of the underlying metrics for the batted ball stuff, and at the beginning when his average wasn't kind of showing how well he was performing. He was still hitting the ball really hard, and now he closes out this first half with a 10-game hitting streak too, and some big hits in the process and loud contact too. I think he's a superstar in the making, without a doubt, and it makes things super exciting for this team long term that you have this kind of guy. And also, he's only 21. Like, he's only 21 years old.
That's true. That's true, Joe. He's a young guy. I mean, he's got years and years and years, to get, to get good. I mean, and this is just the beginning for him up there with Boston. We don't know we don't know how high the ceiling he could have.
Yep. I know. And it's just only the beginning. It's only the beginning. And that's I think another part of what makes the season exciting is, okay, what is the second, or what is the after the All-Star break, kind of have in store for him. So I'm excited to be on the airwaves and talk about this team for what happens, after the All-Star break. And my expectations for the team are kind of back, is what I would say. You win 10 in a row, you get yourself in a spot where you're holding the second wild card, and you're not too far off from the Blue Jays. I'm back in, and I'm excited to see where this goes.
That's cool. Well, Joe, thanks for coming on tonight, and I enjoy the All-Star game tomorrow, and hopefully you have a great time on with the Cubs and the Dodgers coming next weekend. We'll catch up with you down the road, okay?
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, buddy. See you, man. Bye. All right, that's Joe Well from the WEI up in Boston. Let's bring in the coach for Bowie State real quick with the last 5 minutes of the show. I know he's been having some technical difficulties. We'll get him in. Hi, Coach Thompson. How you doing? I know you were having issues with the video and all that, but thanks for joining us. We'll get you on for the last 5 minutes. We'll get you on after we come back from Charlotte. We'll talk more with you. Yeah.
Okay. But, when are you guys coming back from Charlotte?
We're down there, the ACC kickoff. We're down there with all the media stuff. Next week.
All right.
Yeah. So first of all, thanks for coming on tonight. How did this job at Bowie State come about?
Oh, well, I guess, let's see, how can I say this? I got in contact with the athletic director at one time, and he put me in contact with the head coach, which was Doc Andrew Campbell. And speaking with him, he, brought me on board as an assistant coach. And I spent about 3 or 4 years there at Bowie State with Coach Doc. And under his tutelage, I learned a lot about collegiate bowling.
Nice. Adam, you have a question for him?
Yeah. So, so just talk about how you got interested in the sport of bowling.
Oh man, this goes back a few years. Actually, I'm kind of a sports nut anyway. I like to stay in recreation centers and gymnasiums and things of that nature. So I think I started bowling competitively when I was in the Air Force. And, and I just continued to bowl after that. And, I decided to become a youth coach at Bowling Air Force Base, for a little while. And fortunately, I had an opportunity to, actually, I got a phone call from one of my coaches. And he explained to me that he was interested in opening up a pro shop here in Maryland. He was moving his pro shop from Pennsylvania and decided to move here to Maryland. He called me and he said, hey, I'm opening up a shop. I'm relocating, and I know that you're in Maryland, and I know you know a lot of people. And I need you to help me open up my pro shop. Oh, wow. So once I decided to, hang with these guys, actually hang with Don Moyer and Michelle Mullen and Glenn Burney after they opened up their pro shop, it just kind of exploded from that point, because these guys were touring pros at the time, and actually former touring pros. And they came with a wealth of knowledge and understanding about the sport, and provided high level instructions, coaching all types of players. So fortunately, I was in that environment for a good 5 years. It was a great time for me. I learned a lot from them.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. And actually, I believe that we were on the forefront of video analysis at the time. So we used video analysis to help coach bowlers understand their physical game, understanding lane play, and with that, we just kind of exploded. And I believe that now, I think because of us, I think now everybody's in the video analysis. There's been some years, but video analysis is really one of the key tools that I use to assist me to coach bowlers.
That's cool. Well, Coach, we we're up against the clock, but thanks for coming on. I hope to get you back on a little bit more, down the road. We'll talk more about your bowling career and what you want to do at Bowie State and how the CIAA, it's a good bowling league for the ladies there. And I know you guys had a tournament here in Towson, up there at the Towson Lanes, the AMF Center up here. So, but we'll catch up, a little more down the summer. Okay. But thanks for coming on tonight.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, man. Talk to you soon. All right, see you.
Bye-bye.
All right. That's the coach of Bowie State's new bowling coach, Tobar Thompson, joining us. We're going to wrap it up here. We were trying to get him on, and I got to get him on because we had people from Bowie State wanted on the show, and we reached out to him, and we would love to have him on. So next Wednesday night we'll be in Charlotte. We're going to broadcast at 5:00 from the hotel. We'll recap the second day of the ACC kickoff. We'll have Florida State on there. We'll talk about SMU football. We'll see who we can get on the program. Or if you're watching this program, if you want to be a guest on our show and ask questions to us, like they do on the Real Talk Show, if you want to, we'll put the link out and you could join us and you could be live on video if you want to.
Yeah.
We'll try that. Maybe we'll try something new for the first time in a very long time.
Well, why not?
Why not? Never been done before, so we'll do something new, cool. Before we go, we're talking about Notre Dame and Miami, and at that December 3rd, 1977, that's when Notre Dame beat Miami in Miami, and the number one song was "You Have Brighten Up My Life" by Debbie Boone, and it was staying on the charts for 8 weeks at number one. This song came in at number 70. And we're going to end this with this guy. This guy is a true legend, and I play him all the time because I like him.
I like Neil Diamond too.
Yeah, so we're talking about Neil Diamond. This came in December 3rd, 1977. This was number 70 on the charts. So we're going to end it with Neil with this. This is a different rendition of Desiree Adam, because he talks about something different. So I want to play this before we leave here. So. We'll see you all next Wednesday down in Charlotte. We can't believe this time next week we'll be down there. So have a great rest of your week. Stay warm. Stay cool. Make sure you stay hydrated and stay away from the thunderstorms. So we'll thank
drink plenty of water.
Yes, and also we want to say thank you to Dan Torre and Jen Lewis joining us, and John Burkett, and everybody who will be on, and Kevin Stone will be joining us as well. We'll see you all next Wednesday night. So here's Neil.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
New songs. They're like newborn babies. You give birth to them, and pretty soon they're not yours anymore. It was the 3rd of June on that summer's day when I became a man at the hands, wise old drifting sage. And she came to me just like the morning sun. And it wasn't so much her words as such as the way they were sung. It was the way they were sung. The sweet passion sound of your loving song. morning light. Only for that single night. Sweet misery, we made it right.